was your for mamma Papa fee and fa and twas all one in translate Alexandria Wakajagum Yagro. One of the Yassin ever good from this year. So don't go to an idea here. I'll go find Yatanya who needs life once in Nadia Bifia. Dr. Ishmael Aquaba.
Thank you.
Boko, dear. Okay, thanks for joining us and sharing Commodore Ebertwaso. Oh, why? Young Kianim Kakra.
Ye Omanfm for boiling point no Muguso Mutina. Centers are Hodua. Ye to Abanome, the central region, Ashanti region, and a greater Accra at the mama of all the 16 regions no be de wa and any yawada de and Tasi and Tuaba no bebia okwa to waba. Na some day woman say omodi a year GP address ni na aka ho aha nti se ne be ya accessibility ni obi opese okoho ni ade ade nyina no onyira ni ade ade nti Omanfm enka wakoma to yem na album no so ababonten and ohwe se ne four aspirant ni nyina steady no mahwe lapses bi wo ma then according to the presidential elections committee no ma draw attention to that na ensachra bi also mo ye bia no amakuma etimi atoyem and so far so good there yebebo bosso se ne wo ne ira bedi nkomo yi oni di nkomo wi ade wo ho bi yebebo bosso
we san nkomo di we dey na ode ko
me yawe eti yedabo aluzi na yeto azo
san nkomo we dey na ode ko me san ba but koso kakra
but
Dr. Ishmael.
Yeah.
Boko there.
Boko.
Okay. Yeah, the Yankopon say when about a boko.
Okay.
The Yankopon say why join Dr. Ishmael obi a free University of Education when about. So what radio ho?
Yeah.
Okay. Political science. I see. And the mona create modia. Amanyo mu ade kire mona create modia. Me assure say wo botai ntia o de ba. You want to speak English?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, program is so there.
Let's try it.
Yeah, let's try. You can do the mix up. Just don't worry. You can do the mix up. I was just asking. You have a reason of coming here?
Yes, of course. Looking at the impending MPP internal elections, looking around the country, I think Ken looks to present something extra.
Okay.
Something that the others don't have.
Okay.
And perhaps that is what people are communicating as unpresidential.
Okay.
You see, you have elected president over the years who seems to be presidential. Your problems are the same.
Okay.
So, being presidential and not solving the problem. Perhaps it's time to try something different.
Okay.
And what is that something different? Somebody with passion. Somebody with that foresight. Okay. Somebody who has proven over the years to have a plan to build something from the scratch on his own without state support. Now, that gives you an idea that maybe perhaps if you put that person at the helm of affairs, he may be able to bring in more than what others are bringing. Being a businessman, he understands the business climate. He understands what businesses need to thrive. This is a practical person. This is somebody who have done business in various regimes. Rawlings, Mills, Kufuor. So having understand how businesses operate, and the heartbeat of everything is to let businesses grow and create jobs. As we sit here as a country, the greatest threat to our stability is not political parties. It's the teeming youths who are unemployed. Anytime the youths are highly unemployed like this, there's always a tendency that they will get into the wrong hands. When you look at terrorism across West Africa, one of the largest cause of that is the huge number of young people who have become frustrated. And once they get frustrated, any group that offer them something that the government are not offering becomes a natural ally. So I've listened to this man. I said, okay, what is he bringing on board? He's bringing something that we think that is what you put it out as unprecedented. But you know, your behavior may not be the same as my behavior. It's never possible. Leaders come with their own understanding of what they want to do. And he's clearly communicated various parts of the country what he thinks can be done. And these are concrete. Looking at the resources they have, what can be done there. So if you give him the chance, maybe you are giving a chance to somebody who will do something different. Because if you have done, okay, let's say you brought somebody who is presidential, the result is not different. Somebody who is quote and unquote is not different. Perhaps the result you are looking for is not in the presidential materials. It's not there. So there's somebody who has a difference. In terms of what we talk about, one of the things that have happened in terms of fighting corruption in this country is the point that many of the people get to office through sponsorship. So if I sponsor you to get into office, I should have my stake in your government. So therefore, it's very difficult to crack the whip when the person who sponsors you is the one you have to crack the whip on.
Let me ask you this question. If you look at where the world is heading towards, why do you think that at this point in time, we don't need an economist? We don't need any other person but a businessman.
The world is moving to a stage where every country is fighting to maintain an economy and grow its own economy. Okay. You look at the Chinese, you look at the US, the competition is all about who dominates the world economically. When you dominate the world economically, you're able to dominate other aspects of the world. Now, so an economist is fine, but a businessman is the one who actually put the economists to work.
Okay.
Do you understand? Yes. So you go to school, you read accounting, you read economics, but maybe you can't create your own job. The businessman, an entrepreneur, put all of you together. You're a fine presenter, but you can't present in your house. Somebody has to put this structure together and bring all of you, including the accountant here, so that you can work.
Okay.
That is different. Yes, the economist will be part of his team, but he needs to build a team and then give them that understanding of the entrepreneur, when to take risk, when not to take risk. That's what we are heading towards. And the globe is competitive. The idea of waiting for somebody to come and help you is long gone. If you look at the terrain, it's gone. Where you think that, oh, when I'm in trouble, somebody will rescue you. We are going for the 17th, we are under the 17th or the 16th IMF program. What it means is that we just been able to run ourselves for like 2 years, and we go back with our economies, with our soldiers, with our lawyers. So the question is, what have you not tried? What have you not tried? You have tried all.
People continue to say that your candidate, Honorable Ken, doesn't appeal to the intellectuals. You are from a university. If you talk to them, what do they say?
You see, what do you even define by intellectual? Maybe those of us who work in the university, but we are not more intelligent than the ordinary citizen on the street. Okay. They can measure inflation in their stomach.
So once your stomach is empty,
you know that there's inflation. It's not like about what you read. You see, there's a difference between somebody who has witnessed poverty and somebody who reads poverty. If at a point in your life, you know, at a point in some of us, our life will look like poverty. When you watch her, that is poverty. Yeah. You don't need to read it. Yeah. Do you understand? Yes. So, yes, you assume that he cannot appeal to the intellectual. But some of us who have that third eye, we are looking at, okay, what is it that the others are bringing? First, let's take a look at, not even within the party. We look at the opposition within the party. We look at the opposition outside the party. Do they have that extra energy? Do they have that extra, emotion where they want to do something? You see, the problem we are finding is that in Ghana, we always like pretenders. Okay. So
people who pretend.
I may be violent, but if I appear here and I look like a very nice guy, gentleman, you say, yeah, this is a leader. But if I display my raw self, then you like, this is not what we want. But you see, there are also people in their own places who, far off, looking at the guy and said, let me tell you something. To come here, it's not like somebody say, come here. No, I told somebody, I think I like this one. I want to see something new. And he is the one who is bringing something new. The others are bringing the same old stuff. He's bringing something new. You see, this man, I believe, one of the major things I admire about him is that I want to see a president, when a minister is done wrong, he goes to the place and says, hey, minister, you are fired. You don't want to see a president who keeps somebody there for so long and the person becomes too confident.
And don't you think if a president continues to do that, people will be afraid working for the country?
You can't be afraid if you are competent.
Okay.
Because you are given a job, you are given a task. There are cities in this world, when the city gets flooded, the mayor is gone. Do they fear working? No. You have targets. If you meet your target, you keep your office. If you don't meet your target, you are gone. So this is what appeals to me, that this is a man who can hold his own.
Are we not a young democracy whereby we need to measure things the way it will help us to grow in a certain direction in terms of the speed?
What speed do you, how you have been 30 years of a democracy, how do you want to grow? People are growing fast. The world is moving fast. The world will not wait for you. You need somebody who can pull the system, who can hold his own against both the party and influence. Somebody who can hold his own. All right, because as a president, you must difference between being a president and a political leader. As of now, we are talking about somebody who wants to be a political leader. After elections, you have become president. And the influences will come from so many quarters. You cannot be seen falling to every influence. You must sometimes look at the party and say, this is in the interest of the party, but wait, the national interest will not lie here. Let us go beyond the party.
The party.
Most of the presidents we have had in this Fourth Republic are not able to do that. And sometimes that is why we will see that some of the things we do, it is clear from even the word go that it won't work. But then again, because they are not able to hold their own. So you see, I'm looking for a man who holds his own, who look at the situation and said, well, listen, although this is like this, I think we should go like this.
Do you belong to a political party?
No. I don't have a party card.
Okay. But you have soft heart for the New Patriotic Party?
Well, probably, and Ken in particular.
Okay.
So he is the one. Let me say
for Ken.
For Ken. Yeah.
Okay.
So for him, even before he stood up I told somebody, this is the man I want to see to be at the Flagstaff House.
The last election, you voted?
Of course, as a political scientist, somebody who teach politics, I have to vote.
And you voted for?
That is my own. I'll tell you what I voted for.
I wanted to find out and go ahead and then know the reasons, your reasons of voting for that person.
Okay, so the last election, I consider so many things.
Okay.
In the midst of a crisis, you need a little bit of stability. It's not a period where you want a change. It's not a period where you need to bring in people who will now settle. You need people who have already understood the situation, who are working on the situation, to have the free hand to work.
So there should be a continuity.
So yes, do you understand? So in the midst of that crisis, you see, while it may be appealing that, oh, let's change government, sometimes government takes time to even constitute their team. And we were right in the midst. You know, when COVID broke out, literally, Africa was left on its own. And I think that if African leaders have not learned from COVID, we will never learn again. Because the world virtually threw us under the radar. Because even the vaccine that was produced, they bought the production chain. I mean, so we could get any. So for me, one of the influences of my vote is that at that point, we need to be stable. We don't need a period where a new person comes with new ideas. Let the system continue and deal with this crisis. Do you understand?
And looking at where we are now and where we are going, you think that Ken can continue?
For sure. Why do I think so? Because he is able to look at the problems we are currently facing. He's able to identify them. If you want to solve a problem, the first thing is to identify the problem. So if he's looking at, we are looking at candidates who are all trying to vie. Some of them are not identifying the problem. They are professing solutions and then you are looking for the problem the solution will solve. So it's like somebody who is going to an exam, he has answers, and he's looking for the question to fit the answers under. It doesn't work like that. But his approach is to go there and look at what is here. Okay, this is the issue. This is how we should solve it. So if you get somebody like this, at least in terms of thought, leaders are measured with thought. So by diagnosing the problem, the right diagnosis is very important. If you go to the hospital, you are suffering from malaria and they diagnose you for typhoid. From the word go, you are finished because the diagnosis is wrong. So his ability to diagnose the problem, identify where the root of our issues are, unemployment. How do we turn our resources into wealth? Resources will lie there. Africa is not poor, but the people of Africa are poor. Ghana is not poor, the people of Ghana are poor. What is the missing link? The missing link is leadership that will translate those resources, those people, into productive forces. That's what we are looking for. And that's what he presents.
So if I understand you, you just don't walk to the polling station to go and vote.
No, I'll be the last to do that.
Analyze,
you have
think
to
through,
because it's your future.
Yes.
So for instance, after 2024 December, the next 4 years, whoever you elect, whatever he does, will affect how you live, even
and
what you eat.
Among the lot, John Mahama and others, you think Ken stands tall?
That is what I think.
Okay.
That is my thinking. As I said, I've given reasons why I think maybe I need some. I don't just want a normal president.
Okay.
Quote and unquote.
Okay.
As they are projected.
Yeah.
You see, the problem is that we must not be scared to try people who have a different mindset. The usual Ghanaian mindset is what we want, isn't it? But
And
the problems you confront, are not normal.
Okay.
You need somebody who can shake the system. You see, to shake the system, not necessarily to destroy the system.
My friend was telling me before you came in, he was telling me that there's a problem and the youth of this country are poised for an answer for that problem. And he sees that Ken has the answer for that problem. I want him to continue. Kumsi Akwaba. You're welcome.
I think say Yenia you from one. Yeni intellectual to as a yadwenu a fa pepe. Oh, beginning Michelle say the youth of this country, the atmosphere no a certain question. Now, question now, atmosphere a bisano. Why ne what answer at that question?
Yes.
And I think that the mechanic
na me probe bibi na me pese me hu ono ankasa we hwan in terms of a battle.
Sir,
last election what to abama hwan. O kire se ba bia na enam no na ohun se se o change abattle na ebe ha o man no. Enti the owo problem no no e se o man to me to aso. Sabe obetumi aso wo problem. After me nya de me hwehwe no e de back kakra. Ya ba be do another baby ya duro no. Ne wote so no ba be ko. There should be another person obetumi ato aso. Ama problem a ye wo no yetumi asolve it. Na me na o sha ase na o kan say there's a question be cause nipa adwene mu. Obi e pe answer. Na wo susu say Ken ni mom na e wo answer no. And it looks as if say on me wo from no mo wo so ni nyina no adwene no efa.
Sa pepe. Honorable, sa na de ne tie pepe. Ye ni ayo from wo no. Any oman mbabru ewo mu. Oman ni na e man mema nyina e bisa particular question. Na ye hwe nipa se sie wayi wanim say we say we solve that question no and on my answer to that question now. And this is the way you want the other. This question has been asked since 1992. Edeba. And now we are John Mahama or Babet Sanaso, ebedi 4 years. In fact, or by the time na the party every 4 years are not a year vice president. In fact, he was part of the program that question na Ghana for bisa onya 4 years edika ne 6 months bi ho wanya answer enti 2016 Ghana fo nyina gibum edi ahoɔden bi ne abufuo bi kɔto saa aba no say no, we want a leader that will bring answer to this question. And going forward, no, yeni e wo from police station executives, yeni e coordinators there. Yeni say NDC has presented who is going to bring answer to that question. But yeni e fu say and the no go area. Aka MPP say and yen yatna say who say no. This question na ye bi say sa question we anya question na ye det na excuse me to say a lecture room as a name a practical question and that we need practical solution. And so we are presenting somebody who has a practical pragmatism. In fact, na no pragmatism to solve that problem. Yen obi a obeka brofo tententen egu yasum no wa hye coat we ko gina baby. It said the opening kai no the whole world obi a hwe say ne man no obe grown economically. Now what provide solution to the citizens. And obi a hwe den na metin ayama me citizens na me mabunu me mrantie me maba ma hoɔden a mikura no ɔmo nwane firi me mɛm ana sɛ obi kura medada na no ɛne yɛhwɛ MPP sesia na nipa nan kura November 4th ɔmo ba no why now what that pragmatism approach to answer that question and to catch that will say nipa ni nyina I mean question ni de ohin question no toa ne aboaboa ne bebre unam na wutie mabunu sama womoka social media markets akuafo traders lecturers omunyina ebisa particular question no that question no Honorable Kennedy on Japan wa solve wa mayen niema ye ditibidi solve anya dia afa na okope answer na free ba bi o ono no wa ye niema da won mo kire say mo question na mo bisa me answer nda da o me answer ni no a present kire say me answer ni to solve your problem enti sabre no ye ni ba bi akọ in fact akokudro no abamo
conclude mame
until the episode can in say electoral area coordinators your police station executives yansa no aba na answer na aba no we are not mixing this chance. The chance is for us to break the 8. In fact, I presenting where we don't want to you go explain tire. Nah, you go explain we don't want to explain anything tire. We want to go straight to the point. Nature will say, no problem, no. This is the answer to it. Then the answer is Ohini Kennedy Japan.
But I say, Dr. Ishmael, political science lecturer, I want to vote for a different candidate. I'm a polling station chairman. I want to vote for a different candidate, not Kennedy Japan. Convince me.
Okay, let's look at it this way.
Okay.
Among the candidates, whatever you are going through now, all of them are the heart of any problem you are facing.
Okay.
All those candidates on the ballot paper. If you are polling station executive, your aim is to win the general election.
Yes.
Not only the internal election. Now, it is easier to project Kennedy Japan because you cannot tag him with some of the challenges we are going through now.
Okay.
He is not part of the core managers of this economy as we speak. So that should tell you that if people are angry, perhaps because they think that the economy is not doing so well as they wish, and that may be one of the reasons why they may want to change, and your job is to maintain power, They must present somebody who is able to connect to those people, who is able to stay clean. You see, let me tell you, when we took the decision finally to go to the IMF, one of the people who came out and said that I think that this decision is wrong is Kane.
Kane, yes. Boldly.
He is honest. Because at a certain point, he declared that anybody who goes here is a failure. And he took back his word. That's a mark of a leader. Okay. You must at a point be ready to accept that at this point, I didn't do well. Then you improve. But if you insist, after so many times, and you don't come out and say that, well, I think I got this one wrong, then you are telling us that we are not observing enough. So as a polling station executive, the only person who will do something different is Kane. If you intend to continue, maybe you want to win you want your candidate to win the intra-party elections, and may not be able to stand out there
for the general election.
May not be, yeah, of course, because the general election, you know, we observe a lot of political campaigning. So one of the things I've observed is the campaign message of the opponent looks very simple. Just cut clips and here and there and play it.
Put it out there.
And you see, it looks like just throwing your own words back to you. But you can't throw his words back to him. You see, the people of his constituency were not voting for him continuously just for nothing. He is doing something that may be given a bigger platform. He will excel. So I think if you really are interested in winning the general election, you need to present a candidate that, one, presents something different, that, two, will not carry so much of a baggage going into the election. A baggage in terms of, you know, elections are about propaganda. If you can paint your opponent black, you are fine to go. Yes, and it's about how you communicate what you have. But you see, we must understand that at a certain point, people were given responsibility. They have demonstrated what they can capably. They've done their best.
So let me ask you this question. What do you think? If you look at the elections, as I'm speaking, almost all the ministers, MPs, MMDCs, following a particular candidate, if that candidate is not a winnable candidate, why do you think they will follow him?
You see, the political establishment has a way of trying to maintain itself.
Okay.
And normally, people who finally win election these days, if you watch the terrain, are those outside the establishment. Are those who operate outside the establishment. Those at the top may have a particular view. But at the end of the day, it's the grassroots that determines. It's the grassroots that win with the election. Ministers will not go to some of the houses people will go to and be beaten. The people who will be beaten, if they look at it differently from the minister, then it doesn't matter at the end of the day what ministers and other people are saying. So you must understand that. And of course, as a minister, it's so difficult given where somebody is to go against that person. Sometimes you may even wish you are the other side, but the atmosphere will not permit you. And as rational people making decisions, sometimes you stick there. Do you understand? But maybe perhaps if the atmosphere were different, you may be at the other side. So it is good that way. But I think this is the advantage that he brings to the table.
Okay.
That, well, he's an outsider. He has his own plan. This is the plan some people have brought. This group of people have brought. Also the same within the same party. But we know that within parties, there are factions, and factions keep parties alive. A party without factions is dead. Because that's what keeps competition within the party. A democratic party must have factions. And those factions are the lifeblood of the party, if it is managed well. It is only when it is not managed well that it gets out of hand. But if a party exists and everybody is following the same terrain, then the party is dead. A party must have various sectors, various parties within it competing for power. That's why you know that the party actually can reproduce itself.
Will you be surprised if MPP didn't present Kennedy Ohene Japan?
Well, I will not be surprised. But then again, it will be a tough fight.
For MPP.
It will be a tough fight for you to. You see, I want you to understand that where he has got into. Now, if we were talking maybe in 2 years back, you won't give him a chance.
Okay.
That's fine. But look at the super delegates. The first time outperforming even those who have been in this game for long. That should tell you that. And the super delegates are people who are quite restricted. He is more of the grassroots. He can connect to people. He can connect to so many people at different levels, regardless of where your party leaning is. So I would not be surprised, but I said to overlook him. You see, there are people, you may hate them, you may love them, but you cannot ignore them.
Okay. And he is one of them.
He is one of them. You can love them, you can hate them, but you can't ignore them.
Meaning what?
You see, they are so important and so influential that even you who hate him, at a point, will need him. So you can't ignore him.
Okay.
You ignore him at your own risk. So even if MPP decides to present, maybe at the end of the day,
a different candidate,
he will have a huge say in the bigger picture. That's why the party must manage the competition.
And looking at the political atmosphere, do you think MPP wouldn't present him?
Where I stand. But you see, normally running against the establishment,
it's not easy.
It's not easy. But then I look at the number of people who vote, and then I thought, well, he still stands a chance.
Okay.
All right. You must understand that the establishment will have their own way of doing things. But as I said, if you look at the terrain now, most of the people who stand outside the establishment are getting through. Why? Because the answers are not with the establishment. The answers are outside.
From your own heart, appeal to the those who are going to vote, those who will be voting on the 4th of November, because Ken is your candidate.
Okay, so if you are there to vote, one, think of the youth of Ghana who are unemployed today. As we speak, many of them have just finished national service. And after national service, all of them are in hotness for me. Think of them. Think of who can create job for these people. Think of who has demonstrated the ability to create jobs. Say, demonstrated the ability to create the jobs. Think of somebody who, when elected, will not be thinking of paying off those who contribute to his party, his campaign. Somebody who hosts his own, who is financing himself with the little he has. Think of somebody who is pure in the sense that he doesn't need to pretend to be what he is not.
Okay.
Yes.
Think of somebody who will give you a future. And then you go for him. Because that is why the solution to your problem lies. It doesn't lie anywhere. Think of trying to break the 8. Think of going to convince somebody to vote for your party. Think of all the questions they will ask you. And you will realize that it is so easy to sell this one than the others, given the current situation we are in.
What about if I'm giving money?
Oh, if you are giving money, yeah. I say, I'm a very religious person. I will not say don't take your money.
Okay.
Take the money, buy some goats and enjoy. But at the end of the day, it's a secret ballot. Do the needful for the future of yourself, your children, and this country.
Doc, thanks for coming.
Thank you too for hosting.
Vanasco.
Yeah.
On the what from say professionals for Ken. Meboa.
Bajo.
Odi omo bad omo but tenedo odi biaba. He's also bringing in a different idea.
The perspectives are quite different.
I tell you.
The angle of analysis and this entire if you say look yeah.
People from the water region are asking me was it now want to be country now what we want to be country learn and come back. Okay. Good evening. Was it Namini I don't mean country hey Indri what trans ya cho
oh ejman mumra no ejman mumra no Madina incoming MP na wa yo
Padmo
honorable Padmo papa
na ta incoming MP na say Madina komo ka kan so mo ma mi ko nu su ka kan you know why na e adwuma no na
we do na jam
onwa ne he wa
ta awo
wa say ma e senior dia no ho e kiro no hwe mi
ya onyame ahira wo unim za eh
baby am do ni pan ko free na
and before I ever parliament afi mu kwa na onyo mo hye yo it's more of Bimbra ko Madina wa hana kidiwa the regions well represented
but anyway kamia ka say bi
menka
Madina emu omra na emu odin
o kan presidential now kan parliament
o presidential na Madina de ba bia wu
na yaw so ba parliamentary o Madina edin ba ko pen Madina fo ni mo
say dey
about somewhere last month Medina executive fair meeting say umbeso mu introduce aspirants are o submit o form constituency party delegates ye fair for ni nyina ko gina stage no so ya mi gina na me raho na BBM say mi nsuma Medina
adai
I am the so beside me question. Me too many shemini and me and sa become person when me pre Medina kunya. Na me share oma minimum Medina wasn't comum na minimum mujina stage in so. I will be no, I will be busa me say. Na oma no contest, uma back or something to say cry out. Minim.
Oh, we are all on my
just a me real oh yeah, yaw. Me who a Choro Adams, me who Eric Nati a boy dollar. Me hu Chema Kofi Mackenzie, me hu Alex Enim, me hu nipa ye no matra Medina ye adwuma se omo ene mbedu kra bi kwa ne Boniface mpo contest mpo omo anya me hu obia sa
adentia
omo mu jan wonya obisa am se we hu no omo meeting ase da ya menhia ne da
ayefo newcomers no speed
omo
dem
because say ya na bi mu fi say ye offer constituency there say dia makobre akonya bibi kakra metimi dia akọ pushi ede akwaji to me no but ade ba ko ni period fini say enye parliamentary candidate ni epe o ye pe MP ye pe obi a ye yi no ene NDC abranti omuade ananse wodi obi atemu yi sabi so akohia say nipa we so ne ko tena se TV so radio so akoye intellectual debate as a lawyer nipa be na ade ne ko tena say ni sa akoya nano pom kasa so very important candidate be na ofi say in political marketing o de ni ko gina ho a obetimi awen ne vote amount
kade e wo ebogo
oh nyame adom kade boko Alright, I should have so to guys. Nyame adom wa.
Yeah, fine.
What a dorma, no mon fiber.
Muguso.
Nyame adom.
Esikuma.
Iguso.
Minya.
Oh.
Say we dey when you try. A small of membra kwa dey. Timuna wine. Mami bisa semu. Na nyambia ya kesese abatwa ye beto no. Obi pese oye proxia. Onipa krona ngasa osi omo obi authority to vote no. Onko ya for David. No ngasa mfambra se me banas committee mitumi ama ya wamofa bwache. Se da ye beto na oni woncho nto a eno so obi type ai. na album no ye kita o ya de da o esmo do me bra kwa wan say na ma tiki mu no da bia mi hwem
say you be a free man answer
da bi de wom na mom de botu kwan yenim nya wawu yenim na obi won say bre no obi di affidavit obi a wawu e de aba ode nya botra
onwuye ya starting show mo see enji omu ndi inti
my mo ntuma
onya affidavit no obi ntuma mo as evidence no de agina demu de atina nchen
na ye kotoba awa ni mutate ye kotoba obi a di na adwene kwa ko yi ni de na wakotre na adwene ni opese odi NDP anim de ko abatwa e betu 2024
yeah
eba ni sen na afa de sadia men koto na yenye proxima
banas ko message proxima sa fee proxy no mo ye
de be ma wo da be na NDP internal election ko ba say proxy so abaye
ni proxy no ye wosika ye twa ma wo yes proxy no me see ye koto ma wo no ye disika to
nipa ne wo ho but
ye disika to so
ni nan twitwai
wonya
ni sintutui
onwui
da bi
kwan
da bi
na ye say ma obi akoye
oni bebi ampoko owo ahen
ma yes
wa ton vote no say obi
yes
yes bebi amaduro no
and yes no wakoton mo mi enka ne ye ba na so mesiro wo say na wo kan asem no o ye ama ho mind do owo ahen ni esi ni say enye so obi na ekoton ne vote no no mo hwe na be o kakra na fe de ye de nhye na eto so say obeto aman ana yanjiundi inti so beto aman yan dia they are making you an offer compose you to accept and give the proxy out. That is what is happening. And yes, what background wako say ni. Yedi offer. And yes, or no delegating or auction, but they are giving you an offer that you can't resist. They are giving you an offer that you can't resist.
The more draw.
Just yesterday, I was na me bisa question be say in your constitution, you know, you nimu say delegates near 500 maybe about half can go on proxy. And I say yeah, and yes, say him. So it's rather intensifying and rather making them more convinced. So with they using money, they will buy proxies by force.
Abaye baba happening. Yancheni ya constituency me was say aka 778. 784
delegates no.
Delegates.
Omo maka no way.
Two kwan. Onko ama no ne.
I'm
under secretary baako. Okay. And a Skuma Fire Service chairman. What two kwan kwa butri.
Okay.
Yedi nyame ase. And a four we free mu. Four no apeja Augustine we free mu.
Okay.
Abaye na say me police station me chairman we free mu.
Okay.
Adumanu woman organizer we free mu.
Okay.
And Fuswansa and so organizer on the free mu. Nti we ya no free mu ni do matu kwan na number abekani yanhwe ne ya ba ye koto no esmo obi ba fofo mtie o obi ba wo se me de krata bia ba sign na je na mom je na abato no so a wodi bia anya we ya wa ba no na wato no ntu be ba ho no
ye ma wonto
na obi abeto ma wo enti what some people have planned they say baby ye be 700 emu be 350 to proxy they are good no and people have the money and yes proxy no answer obi beba beka say to me proxy no sadia se osoko no se banas konko to proxy a osoko angasa nko ya affidavit no no ko declare say me ma ba no mitumi mbeto ti me dia ma banas ko so onto ma me anu no kwafo muni a omatikokum.
But so can also the process and the procedure your family.
We want to know say indeed also kwankasa na say me die
mento
abato brenu na mini ho, and you must give a justifiable reason. Say bia sada ni bedu no me visa nie me ticket nie na me wɔ conference wa me tu kwan yo yagye tum anase me say ntimi ntumi na mbom se obeka say proxy ni de yenya letter say onipa na my authorization letter say I Usoko right to represent Banasco that he should vote on my behalf ni agye tum yes lawyer Rafa Japan mu ni ade ne na mo na mo afie o mani gan no ewa na ye the lawyer Michael Kwe ye na say
okay
because je chensem no mu anu hu say da bi ya hwani ana Africa da mabem
na say metewase ya
presidential election committee no ajatum say sisi ano ansa obi beka so to proxy no e wo so nipa kro na nkasa ana nante pam akoko so affidavit unim say affidavit so ya ensiudie
yeah
it is an oath it is a uchatra
wa from my name
yeah to be called them it is why e beba wo so e ba beka kira wo say ma yenkoye BBC e mawo na yekoye mawo na wo giske ni wie na wo nim na wo si abato obra na se a wo beba wo di keke kra no ye beche wo
Banasco
because when you got proxy there and go abato obra yo
okay
and then I sire delegate nyina se mo mani na and then no kase na nipa compile list p na dey one say obi a wawu kra din wom mi wo nipa wawu ma proxy da aseye na bi no
and na critical
na me ofo me abomia me deda ho amesua me ankasa ma de amesua kakra na masua no so kakra me kan no minimo obi afie ni mo obi ayire ni mo obi age me abom no madidi masua matwi egumitirim wo fie agura minimo okay enti yesere
okay
yama prepare your dead na abato na yekoto no
okay
me say timpi edi yato aba no prepare your dead yakan yadi nkugo yaje atum yekoye baby yakan so a yebedi nkunim yabo se yedi obi aka ho ye nyina ye adwuma 2024 na yede age power
okay
na mbom se obeje se kuntuna ase bi ebe ye BBC one time bi se de ebe ya madano na me na egu abonten de ye na ngu abonten o cause the lawyers no me sharp
okay
team no so ni da ho smart
ye beba ho bushia boiling point na uti sabra me no ka say no do abo ewo efi ha sei na ye kai say dwumadi ye tremo e de ma ofa kwache me ne ya mofa boache na edi dwumadi no chia me di de owo ahene entwi bu isi akon yewura Eric Ntumensa sanso na Padmo ba for Japan and afi Banasco enso ewo efi ha ayeno mu edi enkon ma memra timpiedi yewura Eric so far campaign to say
oh nyamiadum revia me ka say inshanke nyame say campaign no ye no ene omo wo fomo a omani da so asa ayom kwadanda hwana na ebe ka omasema momo hwana ebe kukuru amanyoko ne esi eho na omanyi da so say come 7 December 2024 yebe kura to minim ya me ka say for the first time in MPP yeah akoye te sene ye opposition afa sene ye flag bearer yeah as if you are not come to wrestle power meanwhile no the power is obviously I is a Captain Planet and Crabrim the power is yours sustaining and maintaining the power and akodane inshani maboyi na akodane inshani maboyi na me meko so aka se inshani Kenya me say ye papa kan dia kompre ko Japan o se ade yo obi dumbie oni bie ja adoye wura me say ne normal wa ye e wo Ghana me mu ha a ton 70%. A ton is 70%. Na minister delegates in dini hwamo. Because delegates nim say safwet mi bi omo pon e mo dachi esi yi. Honorable Kennedy akompre ko Japan ni kura.
Okay.
They know it. tried and tested. Say kwanya ya de. Kra uti delegates ni bia. On person munya kokuduro. And say a day na esi in a person come kasa bo show mu yim. A day na esi eni enjom. To just go and exercise their franchising freedom.
Okay.
Now it's by force. Constituency chairman be MPs, CEOs, government appointees, anyway be a cohesion by force. Now even when some of them want to meet you are not ready to meet them. I witnessed some just yesterday. In person with boarding. Hey, near flow be by force. So Bejika. Sayonwa.
Omejika nkotoba. Meside na
discriminate. And yes,
obi maybe car na ebi dia momuka.
I was in a meeting. No Pacosta frame me back me miensa. So hear me. Na sembi yache no so. I say, for meeting no, pen na me friend no. Friend pe. My brother, can I see you? And I'm saying, what is happening? Certain pressure be a see me so.
About to bakope. That's my Bob no. Cause some of my friend, you know.
I went to see the man. The people called, and it was on speaker. And no pay and nanopa. The team went to see the man before he could go to his office.
Hey,
and Comodian say, check. A drew so a person your child, obviously, I'm a cool and near pick up. A drew so I saw Jody, only I saw you say, if any say, only crowd by force. Oh, Henny,
any panagino on Tom away.
Near AC, ewo yen fourth nive ba about to ayebe koyimu no. O kanu an kan year. O kanu an kan year. Na wo kasa etia wan kasa. Wamanyuku. E bimoni ye bia omo ye e good Dr. Mahmoud ba omi ahufi. E bimoni ye bia omo ye. Akaka bensem ne se nyomo kire se sei minim se Ghana skani na omo ho ne omo butom no person kire se gu. Hey. 2016 ye hu mu. Me de bia masema be kan no. Krom hana ni o.
Atie ma refi.
On menwe emu na ni o. E den na esi. Asenya all of a sudden people be gang up. In such a way say they have to do everything within their ability to make sure say Honorable Kennedy Akumpre Kwe Japan never becomes a flag bearer. Meanwhile, the man is not becoming the flag bearer. He's becoming the president. That's what people have to understand. It's not just about flag bearership race. It's about who becomes the president. And to say, yes, see, you see breaking 8 now. In penny 4 air yard. National executive say yard. Now send your appointees, nini MPs, nini ministers, nibi. Each choma name no.
Hey.
Now say na Ohano be sending me recording. What I met me amabo. Say ebi anu mudi yewura Alan Chematinchi. After ya papa resign ye. Omko team DMB. Omko rounds all of a sudden. And near Fenny say oko baby no man kasa refer no. Say hey, here wabi. Rips one kasa ba be can A B C D E F. And now ba ebe my 50 cedis. Greater What's 50-50? 50 cedis.
Na central region yes.
Oh, central just 100.
Sir. Debbie.
Sir, maybe
100.
Central for
me so na me come asem. E den 20. Omo baby omo call omo yesa. Monsieur Marco runs 50 cities. So one permit me about man about on air.
Greater card in 50. And I'm business central.
Greater 100. Ebi kura ma 100. Oh, call ya o kasa.
Selective no more.
Ah, na say some your list. Omo your list. Sa listen no mo ya kwakofa. Se wo se wo beto ama yendia yenju ndie ne sa dia obeji scan na why proxy by force no. Sa ko na kwafa sa na ba.
Na na mo great am 15 years entry nya 20.
Member home, I remember Europe Admo kakra. You Eric from KD and I Admo. Is it the first time you conducted such election? And baby you do Alan Akufo-Addo you see.
Me by na lawyer can say be my mean see sa no kind so.
Okay.
Was it MPP party? It's not monolithic. Your anti-party not to say like NDC, Rollins, and the founder, Rollins, and a T NDC party. Uko PPP, Ubian say Parkwa Sindum, and a T PPP. Ayariga, and a T APC. Equiadonko, and a T Ghana Freedom
GFP.
But Uba MPP, MPP, you need any one individual big claims MPP and India. But baby, I can't careful. The tradition of MPP, a bimo person must say. I mean, who says as an MPP a year, a particular group be an personality be there. MPP yes, I need the Johnny party no. Your 3-year party, your share party, nasi 92-year coalition near mano. This is not the NPP we knew. Na mini Eric can say suben bi enipa bi e dan edi say a good vice president animas. My typical example. Ni team ya omo call round weekend yi mo na this week ye. Ti nsem ni bi omo ka. Omo share delegates na omo say ye nyina ye nim say Dr. Bawumia as vice president when nya opportunity no president ama kwan a wontimi nya hwe nti no enema bebe sisi na kwan nti no wontimi nya hwe. Yes, Accra.
So the message is the same.
The same, say I can't.
So President man and Yenejuma.
President man and Yenejuma. But Omuria, no be so from the same team. So I say, or be Kanyama vice president na ye. Why digitalization? Where CC Adaibi? Why is so? The question is, about issues. I move say I know there. You be can ebusa one question. I must say vice president. Yet to me so on fine Yenejuma. Economy asem so can me and far ultimately president take you for another decision. You are putting blame on the president. Who good president Akufo-Addo ni mu ase yi niema enkoso nyina ade ahye say ono na nya Dr. Bawumia. Na emo ba achievement of Akufo-Addo dey house no Bawumia na abaye.
Na economic management team no da no.
Forget about it. No dey one memu so asemba. Ghana ID card when they buy national ID card.
Na say man panic for pension.
J Kufo pension.
Kufo.
Is it an innovation from Dr. Bawumia?
Dabi.
It is a Ghana ID card. Now the catch him say Dr. Bawumia declares you obey ID card. I didn't try no. I didn't go to no. What about me and President Akufo-Addo make him national ID card? You're taking me biometrics BBA and almost print my card. I'm saying almost 2012 or 2010. Mahama and Mills time. That's a number of my net estate. Omubaho. Me details was sa record niso. So unless say supervising officer be delete me details me film and sign yet me print me ID card amame. So it is not MPP and the Akufo-Addo Dr. Bawumia here and Ghana card. President Kufo.
NDC.
Can I tell you this is not the first time becoming NIA boss? And why are we forcing say good president Akufo-Addo ni mo ase in the presence of delegates just to promote Dr. Bawumia? But who read dia na nyema Akufo-Addo aye na the glory be Akufo-Addo no wo say no dey bi nya Akufo-Addo na Bawumia na aye.
Why should we get to that level?
And that is the problem they are creating for Dr. Bawumia. Na me here can say enipa bi create problem man because who can say we na me delegate na me pe Akufo-Addo asema who say me to Obama Dr. Bawumia. Because Akufo-Addo is president, me support Akufo-Addo 100%. But any who be go Akufo-Addo anymore say. Now we are near my papa, they also no, yeah. And you expect me to believe one of Kaza's chairman? It is not possible. But my main can't say we insist. Say, baby, I yet do what MPP. yenya presidential candidate, right? Yenya somebody who will become the president December 7th of next year.
Which name was saying?
Sure. Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton. Right? Omumienu DNC eto Obama hai.
Obama ne Clinton.
I want to Obama.
So Obama.
I didn't want to Obama because Obama was the most popular candidate.
That time.
And Omu say, and your candidate ye keke ye election.
Ako
win it. It's when amongst these two yina or manning in a begina too. That is how a political party will leader. Because our main focus is December 7th, not November 4th. A Johnson Obeko December 7th, and as a political party, we say candidates at this time, why not Ghana for no a two friends ombra or bar a boy. So political parties MPP can enjoy advantage now. Easier. So party from Penfosia. Baby, I didn't call Ghana for no better about I may break 80 no, but Ghana for no say no more. Any other party you man easier. The Ghana for penno, young from my home. But any baby said I imagine say. Omono de anyo ma enyo bia that is why this obi ka se Kennedy Japan mom fi say anyo no enyo bia na ye misre no Kennedy Japan no ade ni sika eye ne campaign ye ne bibia no ono no say anyo no enyo bia. What is happening in MPP now? For me, it's unfortunate Alan had to leave the party. Very unfortunate. But free party nim and on the party for ni because officer name may be a coswa.
Yaudie Adawi.
But the truth is, it is not Alan who was supposed to leave the party. Rather, any baby a party means to say, Omono Timi free party and Quati Omodiano. They would rather frustrate Omo to leave. Nanquay so Omo mom and then you're loyal to the party.
I see.
But the truth is, Omo yes, just to frustrate a bimbo. No more free me and say, Omo you're loyal to the party. No, the sad thing is they are in minority. I don't know more free party him. So if you betting me when election, no more free MPP no more go. Because they all want to ride behind the delegates, the MPP supporters. It's a contest in Yako. Me GDN say. Dear Yadini could jina a paswa Ghana for be Rasonium. Baby, I agree. Say, yeah, something different in our leadership in Ghana. Why, dear ya try ya kwaba no, ya bregu. And ya can't say way, but any news, obianim. Me no dear, your chairman for baby, my disease is a cast if you Dr. Baumia. Why name him? Obianim.
I'm Gusoji.
Yenim chairman for my disease.
Obianim. Any roller.
Why who doesn't know? Everybody knows. Can you Japan Tanaka? I'm Obiati.
Maybe 20,000 crack.
One year chairman for I think I sat here free chairman for no.
About first vice for so.
I'm a first vice for the cars get to an echo more. After I said chairman for Naji pickups in every year. Yeah, the Corolla ne vets the cars get be never chairman for vice for. Now so we win now we a chairman now the catcher may delegate say. Okoye no de Dr. Baumia Uska, Dr. Baumia Mauka, it's not supported by me and I made Dr. Baumia Mamede. Yemi na vote to be and to Ababacobe.
1 vote.
Now, so say 1 vote to the aquatic out there, this car, maybe 1 vote, no one other convention say, maybe a man got about 50 cities. That is the insult, party penny for no, and the Emma party delegates.
Okay.
And they are bold enough to tell the delegates, sir, you mark what it's in ye.
Mesaba Baba for Japan. I remember na school kakra na yemi chebre ne kakra. Bana.
Wine medasi emi se semo a menu anum we kan. Ya dia ehu hia pa na sedia mebisa ye no se anopai minim se manu de koyi mika na se asembisa mebisa ye na nipa bi ntiase a. Ene se argument o mu ye bia mebisa yi. Page bi so no mo ka se obi na tro ade se nadamfo bi ombra na ndom ko didi na and Branya Miadum team bia a free DMB camp bow no when you 50 Ghana. To me, Madame for you know me ask me for Pumba Punkata Mansu. Equia dear, almost when near show me, you will be at 50 Ghana. But me constituency dear, it will be at 20. And then I may be says, Nanya be a discriminatory, say, I had your mom 20, near Yamba 50. And the argument I cost when I Nasam Kitwa. Ubi a vote back. Me no dear, Naya Simbisa. Tedika will be our fan say, Boapayo, me person make a candy petty boom. No, Messer and say, when you not doing free sergeants, and boom. As I'm beside me, so they are still stand by it. Say, if it is true, yeah, call Ramsey, yeah, to me, guess ye mo be at TNT, but ye might TNT across board. Ubi added you be nyanye. And then because Sembika Kama, me penny back our region, catch him so that be waiting. I quickly went and said, so wait there. O say, and yes, sir, Matthias sending to the moon. But I still have the mandate to ask. Say, Adena, Trobu constituency. The midimania who and I may born midwa dance. Trobu constituency, Tema West, Ashama, Bonkata Manso. Midimania who any Madina no. Yamobia 50 cities. Tiabani Saina, Central Region, especially Mimi constituency and Metro Medua dance. Yamobia 20. Or why in Bisa Yamakabane?
That's in Bisa.
Bisa. Why must some people be given 50? Now Mimi constituency for the moment 20. And let me see, but any and there's an NDC for ya, dear.
That's how way you see. Bisa saying we are shooting Yaga for 2020.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? As a man, how can? Let's put up back on
me for many tree from Yamapa say, Yamapa Chinese.
As I'm them into us, hey, please, my small of him, I don't joke with it. I beg you.
Say, brah. I didn't you. And I say, Ekobana sign the face.
There be medium in him, Bisa. It is a bit so be one chimua now, dear mammy. Say, oh, Abia, say, and I say,
but I can you at this man and the model.
Oh, not this is part of him back for 20. That one I can point to authority. Bonkatamanso, Trobu, Asiama, Tema West, Tema Central. That one I can point my hand to my chest.
Hey.
The minimum in a medium one dance.
Okay.
And a constituency South Central Region, Bobby, I'm a small of him black. What am I say? Me born me media because I am the menu. And I know I have some business on me, Bisa. And this I say, Bia. I am from Swa, and I say, Bibia. It can be explained. But I'm not interested in me, but and businesses and family. Now me say family because I have a stake in the elections. And the people of a small of him, if indeed they are supposed to get a certain listener, they need to be given. What am I saying? Okay. But as my make a ministerial delegate, especially, you have a back in the Japan, me no can say, or
Upper East.
Upper East. Our born to. Now, baby, I could be an answer me about. Sabe, me ba, make to me, ama in Jumaba and Bibuni Biaye. Na lecturer no Casano or Casembi say. In this current dispensation, there is a question to be answered. Now, the movies were answer no I can do in Japan. Why? Because in Babuna Wagana do na somebody say, Maria school minya jumanye. Maria school mi pejuma minyebi. Me pesa minya san juma. Me pesa mi yese, pesa mi yese. Eno ne mbabunu ni pishe. Na ye obi so was track record ne say njuma no minim say de ebie no. Yase amfosu na kire ne to aso na ne onim ya no onim tuotu ne ne gya kire no enti yewra Canada in Japan aye hihye ni bi atumi tutu anamo ni bi aye saade a na me gidi se embebu na ewo Ghana ani so ani da so eno no. Why? Because Ghana for dodo no Mr. Delegate unam dwomu a Mr. Ghana anase wiase nyina abato e nipa me ensa de decide. 1, market. Edwam.
Okay.
2, drivers and trotro stations. 3, church. Send you makomi and saying, Omno Twaba. Hey, Obako Dum. Obako tomatoes. Near send 1 city, they call 1 city 50 pesos. Oh, here book, now inflation. Dirty Domino, send a 200 Ghana a day. na fe nkwafo hu chiwom jomo ma na etiba 120 a reduction in sales no o here PhD in economics no won say the reduction sales akofom enti omo decide election papa enu ye one omo su no mu di nkomo chen obi a what the aba afide se Canada Japan na eko media Canada Japan na epe no because on the odidwa onu so nim dwadie obo be ma dwadifo no yenso ye koma yan time a na dollar na ade koso ka se yem pegi dollar no se de be ya ema ebo no enkoso ntentem enti otidwadifo ase omo ye number 1 ene dwadifo ya kan nyama madina market nkwa ho aboso kan kantemanto magazine sunyane central market cape coast kotobroba chapel square ni nyina no eyadwom. And I'm telling you, sir, out of the 17 as 18.1 million, about 12 million are markets. Check it, sir.
True.
Of free markets now, or coffee or tikem, or food truck, you did for more. Driver for 18 sem, any sem. Yeah, 2 more him, yet this one him. Into a quaternium near conversation in Swa, I was with Kebi. A year with the truck from one and come over and I would say, delegate, Mr. And he did me patch out. Sie wasum uwie ni saa Ghana no eyemiensa wankwa Kristosum a oye muslimuni anase oye traditionalist ba mienu pa na di ahim so oye Kristoni anase oye traditionalist yesi enam ensem minti ama collection to okra akofom asofo ni bi complaining yapon asori yenkomo ben na asori fo ni di edi be na ya wote delegate misrew me pa chaw ani diem ahobrasem. Let me use the network principle of say on decision we take dia to aba on electoral area dakwa electoral area wono o se omo to aba on 494 e woni police station MPP for nim say we die oti abrode asia oye MPP ni no onim over 250 tini target ni say obi say 120 oche mienu obi say 120 say anyem bia wote brakwa wote mozama so dan ho Omanfm mesrewo hoya na miyini ba wo MPP ni na wote brakwa no beto ama no owan ne what ni argument na say hoya na miyini ba beto ama no aka nipa 4 nti okita ne police station document ye wo book bi wa omom ya MPP fo nyina din wo mu me bo branch na ba so pa your friend network obi anim no e wo brakwa ogina assemblyman na me adoma e be kwakota na tive manadi nkunim okita ni book to akwan wa bisa wo he mesra wo na obeto aba ne 7 December enti wo police station executive ayefrao yefrao intiri eni be for no wanam de ne ba wo pe ubo ni dia na wa twra hye wudia no wo akọ the next person wanam me de ne ba wo pe wa yesa sisi a we no over 80 nta kan kakra bi 45 na wa wie o si di obenya kese no onu na obeto ama no because onu ko yi say nipa ni wie a police station won no kwakọ bi ye kwakọ to aba it is the people there must decide what he should do.
Okay.
Ukwa aguna wester the same thing esi here won me bisa police station phone nyina ana mu vote here say omu MP ana omu chairman mo go to special delegates but yen na ye mu MP yen na ye wo chairman.
Yeah, me ye ma me Cynthia Morrison kan
me say branch ba ko o say sansem na ma America no ne ho fa ne rough they voted over 750 or 700 and 800 and something to aba emu over 90% see penipa ba ko ti wo MP no ko na ko to tia sa nipa na sa asemato eniti the decision to vote for or not to vote for no it does not lie on you as a delegate because of the omenya misraw delegate shena wu se police station woni nyina na mo wono bibia betuma a delegate so ya BP ni nko ade a but opportunity na beto wa ma wo nko a sa abrei say go and take a decision on behalf of all the people abai na say MPP for ya wo nyina no ya 46 abai na say police station.
Okay.
Making Kenya with many bubu ya 46 ye to aba no presidential de me pachoa me yenya 61 ena de Mahama nya de onyai ba parliamentary no ena e kire clearly be wo yenya 42 nti ye won de enam se be fo ameto timi ni me number say won say no comfort mun komuni adede bi mbiso mu se mun bisa nkofo no de omo pe na mu choose based on the nkofo no pe because we go yi obi a ebema MPP ni ba ko pe kura beto etia ya yawu
wana
o ja se enti ni kura me de ma no si na me bra ba mu no message delegate nyina say don't decide on your own because obi obe choose no other people in the polling station must join you to campaign for the person. But if you take a decision without asking them, when the work comes, you do it alone.
Okay.
Especially when the Omukanya answer to Mausimesi, now Kotuchiana, it is appointed to a man to vote on 4th November. But the end thereof, of its effect on 7th December 2024, decide on the decision I'll be taking 4th December, 4th November.
That's it. Eric, senior.
Why?
Ye win common.
Ye win common. De bia se na me Canada so de ene de ma ye nuanom ye yirimo ye ma ye papa ne ye ma me mo delegates say 4th November akwenya ba say they will take their destiny into their own hands omo daachi ehun akwenya ena aba say mokoyi frankatufo ama yen amanyuko na nyame ya adomo a ono ejina amanyuko ni mu etu franka on the 7th of December na tumi a yekura dada no ya maintain na ya to aso mesere mo se nhye bi a de hye mo eni hunehune bi a de hunehuna mo sike bi a de puapuam ni na ka amanyosem mo ni na ka amanyosem mo because yesi utu ekurafo a wetu mo ne so efo ye penyi fo no de o mesi omo bo se ye kan yan kan ni on be ya enom be.
Okay.
Because it's an establishment na mestre delegates say omo nyom kuma so ade e mamo ma ademudie bi ene nhye bi e mamo nkoya ade a endi na wotwe no mu no mo ho impepi omko nom koto aba ni wia
no mo no mo ho
no menu mo ho
bebre
no menu mo ho ti yesere mo scan de beba we kasa amanyo sem sika e ka ho ye de beba nemom ye de ba engina sika ne peso e fe take decision whether ne kase ana ase ne ketwa mesi ye de ba ne ye de ma wo afa wo nifa gina da so ase na fa hye wichi men kwekura won sem benkum ni nifa wan say we 1 cedi we 10 cedi we 1 cedi na say we wo ne no na say wo focus e wo so e na wo hwe de akoto aba no.
Okay.
Da so na fa hye wichi ne mom fa no me gunsani ani na hwe se dombre yi mu no o hawo anything.
Okay.
Unia oba obusuani kofa no mo fie ompotem omo haw paane den na ko yi obi a o hwa asa o hawo no obetumi aboa amisi anu ejuma
medase
haw na so ne ejuma nso de ejuma wura ba ko wo Ghana a obi anim among some almost standing or standing tall. Hey, Honorable Kennedy, a comprehend Japan.
All right. Medase suya 1 minute.
Yo wa hine mechia na mechia TF4.
Okay.
Na mechia Mr. Kamensa and so. No kreni me kasana maybe a simple question be say delegates are your party mu. Aso ye nim se enam ye kokromoti so. Ena de obedi MP, minister, deputy minister, CEO, board chairman, and the keka government appointees. Ye nim se enam ye so enomunya sa 2 million na. Na 7 to 8 years now, omunya say 2 million. Aso die enomodi ayama ye. Aso omohwehwa ye. Aso mu bisa ya say. Aso ya sitinemu ti say. 7 years to 8 years now, no omu koye no. Omu bisa wa say that until now omu say here will vote and the year hwehwa wo. And it's a mistake, as a delegate, over Babia constituency be across the nation, 275. Now that day, 4th November, you go to Abana. Near to Aba any, they are not all Jane home from day one. Honorable Kennedy Japan, or Weku Yekwan Maya from day one till date. As somehow a yedi tuni so, yes, and the bonnie Baku 10. So anka onyine mu enku ye ntokwa mayanka ye binyane ho asam kan ya na ebra na oyi ni sika ede bua party ede sponsor ye campaign no to cars ni ayi ede maye no enu de ye ho se waye boni baku ju nso ene ye oyi ni ti se ye nti obegine mu ako amaye no ende adane boni so ho nti ye se delegate se ye sere wom yes rom papa yenim se mpanyimfo ni bia wo soro omoni ye bin ma party ni jija di chemu bin mo koso party nim for instance over last week majority leader akoshia delegates bi in some kaye bi tribal politics bi okoye ni religious yi bi okokika ye no ense panyi enso so honorable chairman sa obeye majority leader and because honorable Kennedy Japan e di 1 million e ko solve problem ansa yenya majority in parliament. Okay. So nipa no oya ade na so unyi na ya insane di. And yes delegate. So 4th November yento aba no e ma onabo ohini Kennedy Japan. No be ni yenim no mfa party ni nko yie na Ghana nso emfa ne tumapa emfra.
All right. O say friend me ya am watching from Pom. Me nya 20 Ghana cedis o kaswa. Hey, delegate no. Central region. No central for 20 years.
Oh, media, you see, nobody should try to post any picture. Bia, some na mentia na mibisa. And chiremu wa ACPA. It can be explained. Timo biango gaze obi abesa ojina MP na abesa yes no. MP na me be no. Me ko parliamentar. I must debate on issues. Me constituency. I'm a fopon and then mo 20. So if it is 50 across board, let us know. If it is central 20, other places 50, let us know. Anna, no be megase, and you team was some team and kebi. And then me team was a man, the NDC for ya there, and it's a beka. Because some crowd party need a minade, minimbi. But I say, Mamitia danso, solo, Abeka, any odum, any coordinators are West Mother Bimbra Quena, Omo Nyami Shromo, no more cost Jumadini, na operation 706 votes. For Kennedy or in Japan, inshallah, a baby masher at the end of Yam, Medas Minia.
Okay. Very fruitful discussion. The Fourth Republic of our democratic dispensation. Ghana's finest political talk show. Boiling Point. Ote Yankano. That's name of the Malbotan Tim Kobna Kwache, Director of Radio. But Tian Nenchi Kakra. Watching did Medina Chame. Paul Tete Oso Ko and Afe Emmanuel Affair. Boy Chidome did Medina bro. Me did war hene and Chibu Siakon. And I was so joining the beginning to where we are ending the show. Yami Aduma, West Atwa, Kramunia Mamunia Adjo.